They were big, and even from the beginning, from the first pitch, I thought our at-bat quality was very good. Those walks got him in the end. But you look at what JT did, his first 2 at-bats against him, I think he saw 18 pitches, and even though we got behind in some counts, continued to grind, win pitches, and try to get that pitch count up, even though we didn't have anything to show for it early. But we just kind of continued to grind those at-bats, and fortunately we broke through.
Third row to center.
Dave, for so many years, people have wanted to restrict Yasiel's emotion. He's playing with so much emotion right now. How much is emotion making an impact on the way he's been playing?
It's impacting everyone, and I think that it's great when he can play with such emotion and focus as well. And he loves the big stage, and his only focus is helping us continue to win baseball games. And so right now he's playing at a high level, and not only the fans, but his teammates are feeding off of it.
To the left.
Hi, Dave. It seems that whomever decided to move Maeda to the bullpen is looking pretty smart right now. I think he got 3 outs on 4 pitches tonight. You must be terribly pleased with how he's doing coming out of the bullpen in short relief.
Kenta's doing a great job, and we saw a little bit of it this summer, and the stuff really played up. And I think the credit goes to Kenta as far as buying in and understanding that every out in the postseason is important. And so when he gets his opportunity, he's been lights out. So, it's great. I know he's got a ton of confidence. But again, all the credit goes to Kenta, for buying into that role, and also when he gets in there to compete and execute.
Third row to the center.
Dave, you talked the other day about being more aggressive and maybe pulling Kershaw if the opportunity arose. My question is, if his spot hadn't come up in the 5th inning, were you considering taking him out at that point?
Yeah, obviously the spot came up. He was around up near 90 pitches, and I probably had him going out there for Rizzo, and then going to have Kenta get the 3 righties after that.
Second row to the left.
You talked prior to the game about liking Charlie Culberson against lefties. How gratifying was it to see him come through in a couple big spots against left-handers?
It was great. That sac fly that he got there to score that second run was huge, and got behind 0-2 and dug a breaking ball out and lifted it to left field, and that was a huge run for us, and I think it was big for his confidence, and to get another hit later, a leg double, was great. So we trust Charlie. He's a part of what we're doing right now, and he's a heck of a baseball player.
Stay in the same row to the right.
Talk about Chris Taylor not letting the moment get too big, but yet coming through in a big moment.
Well, he's done it all year for us, and I think that CT is one of many guys that are just winning players, and he's just carries himself well, doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low, and people use that word poise a lot, but he has poise, and in big spots he has the ability to zone in and swing at strikes and take balls. So he's done that all year for us. So to get that big homer to right center really didn't surprise us, and just another thing to add to his special season.
Second row to the left.
And Dave, technically, what has he done a little bit different this year? How has he tailored his swing?
Well, that's a longer conversation. I think that this past winter he really took to a swing change, and so mechanically changed some things up and really allowed him to get to velocity and still lay off breaking balls down in the dirt. So he hits righties well, lefties well. So now you take the swing change and the head that he has, the good head, the compete that he has. That's a pretty good major league ball player.
Third row to the right.
Dave, you talked about Chris Taylor a little bit here. Obviously, you know how important he's been for you guys. Do you feel he's flown under the radar just in terms of maybe how other people have seen him, considering Cody's big year and all these other guys?
I think maybe nationally, but I think that the people in our division that we see 18, 19 times a year know how talented he is and how much he makes us go. And especially in our clubhouse, we understand his value, but I think that he just wants to play baseball, so I don't think that really concerns him. But we have, a long list of, I think, unsung heroes.
Last row to the center.
Dave, what was your vantage point on the play at the plate, and what's your understanding as to why the call went your way?
Well, I think that it was a heck of a throw by Kyle out there in left field, and Contreras made a great play, athletic play. But as the rule states, he was in violation. So I looked at it just like everyone looked at it, and as the rule states, he was in violation. So it was pretty clear to us, and so that's kind of pretty simple.
Dylan against Wall with it.
Dave, was there any thought of letting Kershaw bat for himself there in the fifth? And I know you've talked about not wanting to burden him as much as you guys have in the past. With the bullpen pitching as well as it has, how much easier was that decision?
Well, the bullpen having to be able to go to the pen and having the confidence in him was a huge driver. But you still have a chance to tack on another run, and Kyle's put forth good at bats for us. Since he's been up. So to have Cingrani to get Rizzo and to take a chance to get another point on the board, I thought it was a right move.
Last couple questions right here on the right.
Hey, I know you talked about this before, but when Yasiel plays like this, we always think about how much he's grown in ways off the field as far as being a teammate, as far as interacting with the group and also harnessing some things on the field. What's your level of satisfaction with that over the past year?
It's I don't know if I can really. It would take too long to see, personally, from and his relationship, how much it's evolved and grown, and the trust and with his teammates and his care for his teammates and the Dodgers, and just solely to win, to play well, to win and help us win baseball games. But he's really, exponential strides, and he's obviously a huge part of what we're doing now going forward, and I couldn't be more proud.
Last question to the left.
Dave, I asked Joe this question, but we're talking about players and roles who weren't even part of the NLCS last year. How does this series feel different from last year's NLCS?
Well, it's two different ball clubs. There's some similar players, but I think that the season we had versus the season they had last year, I think that you can parallel those two and the confidence that we have in our group and they had in their group last year. So I think there's some similarities, but I really can't speak to them. I just know that this year we're a very focused group, very confident group, and we know we have a lot of work to do, and we'll be ready for tomorrow night.